But it is recording.
Oh, it is?
Alrighty, so for today's video,
For today's video, we're going to be talking about the most recent episode of 90 Day Fiancé, The Single Life.
which is episode, we shall see.
Babe, go to Discovery Plus on the app.
We are using Candace's phone because we got to remember the names and stuff. But 90 Day, hopefully you can see that. The Single Life.
Single Life.
We've watched a couple episodes, so we're all the way down to season 1, episode 22, Chasing a Ghost.
I have not seen any of the 90 Day Fiancé series. I recently got into it. So watching the Single Life spinoff has been, it's been wild.
So for this one, according to the description, Fernanda has the hots for her new roommate. So I guess we can let's just go down like line by the description because we can talk about what happened.
Right.
So Fernanda, she pretty much has like a roommate. And the whole thing for her like being in Miami was like, oh, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just got out of a marriage / just got out of that relationship with the lawyer.
She divorced her husband that she was not married to for very long, and then a little while later, I don't know how much time had gone by, she had decided to start dating again. Cool. Mm-hmm. She started dating this young, successful attorney in Chicago. Hot. He was a
stallion.
He was hot. That's not the problem. The problem is that you want to date this man, and then when he tries to have adult conversations with you or talk to you about real life things, you then decide, oh, I don't want to talk to him. He's too straightforward and too mean.
No. And then anytime like she's talking, she's like,
that has
it's like, bruh, I don't know. That pisses me off.
So either way,
like, we understand you have nice teeth.
Oh my gosh. Either way it goes, she decides to end this dating relationship.
That's how she
decides to end this dating relationship with the attorney, and she decides to take her talents to South Beach.
Literally.
She actually does take her talents to
South Beach.
She is a model, and her agent felt she'd have more opportunity in Miami. So there she goes. I don't know what that moving process looked like, but a lot of us have moved before, and we kind of have an idea of, checking out neighborhoods and figuring out if you're near a hospital or what kind of space you want to live in, how much does it cost, do you need a roommate? She's living with a roommate.
Boxer, like UFC, MMA.
I think she has
got a nice body.
It's a dude, which it's okay if your roommate is a dude and you're of the opposite sex.
I've done that. I had three different girls that I had roomed with, and it was funny because at the time, like, everybody was dating anyway, so like you never really had to worry about like somebody like messing with somebody. Also, we're like adults, so like we didn't. Well, I mean, and some people just, and I say that like some people room with the intention on we're roommates. I feel like she's rooming and she's like, this guy's hot, and that's like why I'm rooming.
So that's the problem. She's a roommate with this guy. That's the issue. She's like, I don't want to be in a relationship. I need to heal and work on myself. I just got out of a marriage, blah, blah, blah. And then you go get a roommate and it's a dude. And for you, the words out of her mouth is, he's so hot. I don't know if
that's all she talks about too.
Come of it. And it's like, so do you want a relationship or do you not want a relationship? And if you want to focus on yourself, then why would you room with a man that's a total hottie? Like, you could have roomed with some 76-year-old Asian man, but instead, I don't know. Asian or not, like, you kind of set yourself up for failure at that point. I don't know what she plans to make of this, but
well, it's just weird because she's like, like you said, she doesn't want to be dating and stuff like that, but then all of a sudden, like, even when they have like the scene where they like go out to eat with her and her friends, and that's all she talks about the whole time is like the guy. And it's like the whole purpose of you being here was not to be doing that. So, saying like if you're gonna be dating, you might as well chose a lawyer that like had his whole life planned out pretty much.
Maybe so, but is it about the money and the status of being in a relationship, like a high profile relationship, or is it about the actual love?
I can't tell with her.
I can't. Yeah,
exactly. I can't tell with her. I feel like she battles that. Well, also the lawyer did have his like stuff. I felt like he kind of was a little pushy.
He was a little bit pushy.
Yeah, like and try to use. And I understand people use money like as a way of like showing love and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like we've all done that at some point. But that's all I feel like he was, like, let me give you a yacht or show you a yacht and let me
take you to dinner on my boat.
T-bone steak.
Yeah.
That's like just overly expensive but still dry. Anywho, so she ain't shit.
Wait, damn.
I'm not really a fan.
She could see this.
I don't care.
Oh.
She ain't shit.
Okay.
Think about it. I kind of like Lori. I'm not gonna lie. Anywho, now she's alright. She's just young and.
I do wanna make note. There are a lot of folks that have gotten married fairly young, at like 22 or so, and it's not necessarily because they're. Oh, it's more than just I like you, you like me, right? Everybody matures at a different rate. Your brain, matures at, is it 28 now? 28,
yeah, I
29?
thought it was 25, but
emotional intelligence must be somewhere there in the mix in order for you to have a really solid relationship. Like you can't just be like, oh, he's really hot, oh, she's really hot, or whomever, and it just kind of works. She doesn't have the. She just doesn't have.
Young.
She's not there yet.
She's young.
She's not there yet.
I honestly don't even get why she's on the show.
She likes the glamour of a relationship. She doesn't appear to like the hard work.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, one thing to think is that, and this doesn't necessarily mean that if you come from a certain family background that you'll be a certain way. Look at LeBron James, like married his high school sweetheart, successful man, everything. I mean, we're all not 6'8", 260 pure muscle, but.
To a degree, we're all a product of our own environment.
Yeah. But for her, remember she had the daddy issues. That was the big thing, and you see that a lot with people that, their father wasn't there or something like that, and they just struggle a lot because, I know for me, my parents were there, but like I learned by seeing things. And seeing things done correctly. If I see something done correctly, then I'm going to mimic that. But if I also see something done incorrectly, I'm probably going to mimic that too. So I think she sees something done incorrectly, and even though she knows it's incorrect, that's just all she knows. So it's going to take her time.
It is going to have to take her time.
And she's only, 22
She's
or
also got to make the effort. It's
like a fake effort that she makes.
She wanted to resolve her daddy issues. And it's with some sort of expediency, and it seemed like she did that, talked to her dad, had some understanding, and then a couple days later she's out on a date and was like, I'm healed, everything's fine now, I can do this. That's not how that works. Though
she had the divorce party.
We all process things and improve at varying speeds, but that's just not realistic. It's really not. It's just deeper than you talking to your dad and asking him why you left me with my mom at a young age. That's not a healer. It's not. You got to do way more processing and unpacking and putting back together.
Years of just.
It could take you 6 months. It could take you 6 years, but it's not going to take you 2 days. No. So, and you can see that
the process can start, and the process can start then. But but like you said, as you see, like she's already starting to repeat the same mistakes.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's enough about her.
Yeah, I'm over it.
So Ed worries when he hasn't spoken to Liz in days. Big Ed. I follow Big Ed.
Is a big.
Yeah, one day Big Ed will see this video.
Oh my gosh.
What's up, Big Ed?
So.
Hope you're doing all right. Cause it doesn't look like that relationship's gonna do all right. I'm just judging by his Instagram and how it's going. So Big Ed had his girlfriend who is 28, right? Somewhere around there. She's like my age. Big Ed's like 54, I think, somewhere around there. He's up there.
And his daughter is about 28, 29.
Yeah, the daughter's older than her, I think. But yeah, pretty much the daughter was like talking a whole bunch of crap on them and stuff like that, and they had a big argument. I don't see that really going anywhere. I mean, she said that she wanted to work on the relationship and stuff like that. She seems
halfway immature to me too. Not because she's 28, 29, but because she's just like not, I don't know what it is that she wants out of the relationship. And granted that the show is edited for entertainment purposes or to evoke a certain response or viewpoint from viewers, but it just doesn't seem like she's kind of interested.
Into it.
I don't know.
It's kind of like, so, I mean, I've had this happen before. I feel like if you've been dating, especially like in your upper 20s, mid 20s, whatever, I think we've all had situations where you've dealt with a person that's kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, what is that, gaslighting pretty much?
Sure.
And, you know, it's a struggle because then you, kind of like, let's say Big Ed, it's almost, and you're the psychology person, but I feel like the psychology behind that is like somebody like pushes more and more when somebody like gaslights, and it's like, oh, like it's my fault. I have to work harder.
Yeah.
As long as, like, if I work harder, if I push harder, then this is gonna work
It'll
out.
Be fine.
But the thing is, if you don't have both sides going consistently, because that's the problem with gaslighting, is that somebody will. And if gaslighting is the wrong term, please let me know. But that's the issue, that if you have somebody that's kind of like going a little bit, then stopping, going, then the time that they go with you, you get confused and you're like, oh, like I'm ready for it, or they're ready for it, it's gonna work out. But then they like stop on the brakes, and I was like, what's going on here, right? And then you blame yourself. Yeah, and it's gonna keep blaming himself, which, let's be real, a lot of it is its fault, because it's like, why are you dating people that are half your age at the same time? But I just feel like a lot of them, or like both of them, I mean, they just need therapy.
For like, some people, age
she's been in
two.
She's been in 2 marriages.
She's been married and divorced twice, and she's 28. And I'm not judging anybody. It is what it is. So at that point, I would say, hey, let's slow down. And actually figure. No, seriously, like you've got a child and everything too.
Does
like
she have a kid?
She does. She has a daughter. For me, it's like, well, let's just slow down and let's figure some things out. And maybe it's been, I don't know how old her daughter is, and I don't remember which marriage is from. But either way, let's figure some stuff out first. And for me, something that stood out was the fact that remember when she and Ed were at Ed's house and they were talking for a long time,
and
then
dog.
she went home and Teddy. He's so cute. I watch it for the dog. And they were talking for a long time, and then when she was ready to go home, he was like, I'm gonna go in for the kiss. And so he went in for the kiss, and she rejected him. And she was like, you can't just do that. And then she left, and he was devastated, so there's that. And it's like, oh, well, if that's too soon and you feel rushed and you feel like that's inappropriate for that time frame, fair, right? Set your boundary. However, your boundary can't just break in the next 2 weeks, and then you guys go on a trip together and stay in the same hotel, and then you have sex with them. Which one do you want? I don't know.
Multiple times.
Which way? Which one?
And I mean, stuff changes within 2 weeks or whatever. It's just weird that they went from
acquaintances.
He was always at the bar and stuff and I understand you go from acquaintances to being with a person. I mean, we at one point were acquaintances.
Yeah.
There is a certain.
You have chemistry who you have chemistry with, but
he's back.
There's this kid that lives across the street who, I don't know what his parents' deal is, but they are very okay with him having any sort of electronic or vehicular thing that makes a lot of noise. Don't you want to do something? You want to read books, you want to go to the library, can you do that?
And all that now too.
Anyway.
The kids in this area are a little bit weird.
I wouldn't say they're weird. I would.
No.
Okay, so the girl across there like sneaks out her window and smokes weed. I mean, that's not weird.
She
but
was
it's
gone
inappropriate
though.
Okay, I don't
she
know
was gone, and I don't think that was weed. I think that was something strong.
I don't know what it is.
She was like pacing.
I don't know why she keeps spitting out the window. You know what?
So yeah, that
matter.
doesn't.
Take.
That doesn't. Okay.
Back to Big Ed and
Big Ed.
What's her name?
And Liz.
Liz.
Moral of the story, that's definitely not gonna work. Also, don't
Who knows?
Don't date.
I can't tell the future.
I can't.
Do I look like Miss Cleo?
It's not gonna work. You can tell.
Who knows?
See, look, you can tell it wasn't gonna work because if you go back to the car scene and they like had nothing to talk about. So unless you want to be in like a marriage that you don't talk about anything.
All right, cool.
Can we skip this one because so it's Brittany.
Who the hell is Brittany?
Brittany, the one that you don't like.
I don't like her.
We're gonna skip Brittany. I'm just
no,
Brittany
I'd
thinks.
to skip.
I'll talk just a little bit about it. Brittany thinks she's sabotaged things with Terrence. Okay, Brittany, yes, because you did.
Terrence, run.
You did. You sat here and you had the light skinned dude that was like from Toronto or something like that.
Was it Tony?
We'll call him Tony, but I don't think that was. Oh, we're really close.
Peyton.
I'd have to look at the
Christo.
things.
Laurent.
I want to look right quick.
Alex.
Brittany.
Malcolm.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Brian. Matthew.
Justin.
Justin, that's what I said.
Justin. Did you say Justin?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check the clip. See if you said it. Yo, what if this wasn't recording? Is it? Is it?
Yes.
Wait. Is it? Don't. Wait. Is it recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. Go. I don't want to spend a lot of time on Brittany. She sucks.
So I gotta go back. So Brittany, she feels like she sabotaged things with Justin. Well, yes, because you did. So it's kind of hard to judge at the same time too, because when you're single, you can do what you want. You know what I mean? But I feel like if you've had somebody,
that's good.
It's all right. I feel like if you got somebody going from Detroit, I think that's where he's from. She just kind of did Terrence dirty. So Terrence came all the way from Detroit to go visit her, and then all of a sudden she wants to like the other guy from Toronto to come visit her.
Oh, that's fine.
And it's like, that's cool, but she literally started ghosting Terrence for the other guy. And then when it didn't work out with the other guy, all of a sudden she's like, oh, my feelings for Terrence, this, that, and the other. And it's like bullshit.
And it happens that way sometimes. It does. However, it's just a little, the situation is so weird. And it's got
a dirtiness to me. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, I'm feeling dirty.
Like, it's the way that she does it. So the situation itself is not bad. Is that she tried to hide one person from another. And it's like, she made such like a bigger deal than it had to be. Look, you're single, you do what you want,
around,
but you're acting like you're sneaking around and stuff like that. And then she just doesn't get the full picture. It's just like Terrence has been talking to her for quite some time, and then like he doesn't know that she's been married and stuff like that before. I feel like if you're talking enough, somebody should know that. Like
eventually, you're going to share some personal stuff. Maybe not all of it,
if you're having
but
some good conversations, personal conversations, you talk about exes and stuff like this.
Honest.
You're not going to know the ex's social security number and stuff like that, but you know, past events help to determine how a person is like shaped, or like how, you know, a person may act in the future, right? If somebody has past like futures, you might not trust them as much as somebody like a past, like possibly LeBron James, in terms of what we know, like, you know, because it could be worse for LeBron James.
My thing with Brittany is
she's just shady.
I just don't like her. Just don't. Maybe she's confused, and I can't judge confusion, but My thing with Brittany is you like Justin, you have great chemistry, you used to be classmates, I think is what she was saying. You've known each other for a long time, right? But you start to get into serious conversations, and then you're talking about sex and all these other things, and when he's talking about sex, you're like, oh, well, I'm not sure that I want to sleep with you. Okay.
But then you twerk in front of his face on an ATV.
But you keep throwing it at him, and you invited him into your home to sleep in your bed several times. So it's like, which way? Where were the boundaries that you set for you two, whether you're dating or talking or whatever you're doing? But again, it's like the Liz thing. Which way do you want it? Or with Fernanda, like if you're straightforward, then you don't like that because nobody wants, I don't know. Nobody wants to talk about the hard stuff, right? Which way do you want it?
Speaking about things we don't want to talk about, Brittany is done.
Oh, her collarbone. Clavicle? Collarbone?
Clavicle or something like that. I think it was her. Isn't that the same thing? Can somebody tell us if the clavicle and the collarbone is the same? Because we don't know. And I failed human anatomy.
You did?
No, this is 2021. People don't Google things. They ask the internet for the answer. Let's do Danielle first.
Oh my God.
Danielle, because the last one I really liked.
Danielle.
Danielle gets the second date she's been waiting for. So,
Woo-hoo!
Danielle, she's moving on, man. She finally got a second date.
She's trying.
The guy looks like her level. Yeah, I feel like everybody's got a level that they fit into with a person. Not saying, oh, this person's higher. It's just like everybody's got different levels that they're at. And like personality, everything like that. Like, but they seem to match a lot better. He shows interest. Listening and stuff. The only thing I didn't like, it seemed like they were having fun with the axe throwing and everything like that. Everything was cool, and then she was like, and I know it can be hard talking about ex and stuff like that. Especially if you were married to the person, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And all the stuff that happened with her and Muhammad, her ex-husband. But for you to, I mean, dude, you're on
breakdown.
You're like on TV.
When he asks about a question that maybe we didn't think was as deep, but for her it was as deep. And never mind whether it's a first or second date, the issue is that there's so much more for her to unpack, and she needs to do it in a lot of therapy. She's not trauma. There's trauma, right? Mm-hmm. People know what their triggers are, and sometimes people don't know what their triggers are, and that's the tricky part about being able to manage going through some sort of traumatic experience or experiences, right? So, with that being said, she should probably work on that stuff first before we get back into dating. And maybe this is one of those stair-step relationships or dating experiences where you're not quite ready, but you try it anyway, and that doesn't really work out, and then you work on yourself a little bit more, and then the next relationship maybe works out more because you've done a whole bunch of work in between. Cool. It doesn't happen overnight, and therapy is not a magic pill, right? Same as with medications. You have to do the work in therapy. You got to help the medication out. You can't just go to therapy and cry all the time and never work on anything inside and outside of therapy. And I think she's got to process some of this stuff and figure out where to put it. And form a new view on herself so that she's strong enough and confident enough to go into another relationship and it be a healthy one. She bypassed all of that.
Well, I think she just wants so badly to be in love. Or to be loved more so than anything. A
lot of us want that, and we don't blame them. I understand. You understand.
And I mean, I get it. Like, some situations are harder to talk about. My big thing is, it's like, dude, you're on TV. You got cameras around. You get to the second date. Like, I'm always about having a little bit more composure, especially in those type of situations. But I mean, for me, I think it's okay for her to have an emotional response and stuff, especially for something like that. That's a hard thing to talk about.
For anybody to have an emotional response to something like that.
But for you to like be uncontrollably sobbing and it's more so it's different when if you're actively talking about something, like, oh, this is how I feel, this is how I feel, this, that, and the other, and like it's an active thing versus like you're getting the person's opinion, this, that, and the other, versus you just telling the story, and the story itself is making you cry. That's when, and I understand, like, we all have situations where it's like, oh man, like that makes me sad or whatever. But I mean, she was kind of like hysterical.
It was really bugging her, and that's fine. Like, that's fine. Maybe she didn't know that would have been such a trigger for her, because she, on that girls trip, they had been talking all about that stuff, right? And then you get in front of a stranger that you really like. And,
well, she had never told anybody.
And she never told me. Sure, maybe. Well, she revealed some really personal information. I mean, like private information, intimate information, that she really didn't need to share. But I can see then that was a trigger for her, and she probably didn't realize that it would have triggered her that hard, and she wasn't prepared to cope with that.
It's kind of interesting you said. One of the things I realized, I mean, everybody's older too, is that there's a big focus on the bedroom.
In this show,
that? Like,
yes.
I'm not gonna say the word, but doing the do, you know?
I already said sex.
I didn't know if YouTube was gonna mess that up.
Oh.
Yeah, just like you can't say certain words. Anywho, like you can't say the plague of which we all know, plague of 2020. You can't. Yeah,
you can't.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of focus of like doing the do in the bedroom. Like Ed focuses overly too much on his sex.
Yes.
Danielle's is just, I mean, she had a lot of focus on it when it came to Muhammad. Brittany definitely focuses on it. Fernanda for sure focuses on it. This is a great segue. Colt is actually the final one that we have. Pretty much he's trying to
Danielle.
He's trying to get engaged
to Vanessa.
Vanessa's her name, yes.
Which probably isn't the greatest idea.
But speaking about the sex part, he is like overly sexual. Like he expects Vanessa to give it out, like
hypersexual behaviors. Like he
three
wants
times
to have sex 3 to 4 times a day.
Which is insane to think.
Even
it's like,
if you have a really high sex drive, that's a lot.
I feel like that's a disorder.
That's a lot.
That's got to be a disorder.
Shall I grab my DSM?
That's that would be. I don't know if it's a disorder, but
it's got to cause significant distress.
Nymphomaniac, nympho.
I can grab the purple Bible.
Sure.
It's in the car outside.
Oh, we're not gonna do all that. Anywho, that man likes. I mean,
that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot every single day, multiple times a day.
That's unrealistic. Unrealistic
even
for
with
anybody.
A really high sex drive. That's
like, I mean,
that's a lot.
I never knew people in college that were doing that consistently.
If it works for you, it works for you. But 3 to 4 times a day, every single
day. And they've known each other so it's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, you know, we just met and, you know, it's like a week or something. I can't even imagine 1 week straight of like that. Just, I have things to do at the end of the day. I got shit to do.
Yeah.
No, but so it sucks because she's already, I mean, they've been divorced before and stuff. She already doesn't have the trust factor with him because
and she said that after he asked her to be his girlfriend, and then she was like,
she said that before too. She let that be known before,
and then he asked her, and then she agreed to be his girlfriend. And then she was like, but I'm still, you know, there's a concern about trust that I have because you keep cheating on everybody. And so I'm like, well, then why did you? Anyway,
why would you be with him? Well, I mean, her issue is that she wants to be a part of his life or have him be a part of her life so bad that she'll kind of do anything about it.
Yeah, she'll even push her boundaries back or make them blurry so that it can just work.
It's almost kind of like a strictly mental, which this is mental anyway, strictly mental version of, oh my God. What is it called? The Munich? No. It's when you fall in love with your captor.
Stockholm
syndrome. She almost has like a passive version of Stockholm syndrome, where it's like this dude's almost like a captive. Like she's almost like a captive to this guy, because he had said, I don't know if you saw the other one. He had pretty much said, he was like, either you're gonna be in my life like as my girl, or you're not gonna be in my life at all.
Oh,
he knew that
really?
she wanted, he knew she wanted her, or she wanted him in her life, and he kind of manipulated that. And it's like, so not only, and I understand like things happen, but I feel like cheating like in a marriage is so much different than cheating in like anything else, because it's like, dude, you went through like paperwork, like that's, you know what I mean, like this isn't like a verbal agreement. This is literally like through God, through the government, everything like that. So
the government,
like, dude, you had time to think, you know,
all the things.
So I, you know,
that's
like,
wild over
and then
there.
you've done it multiple times at that. So it's like he's got that going on, and then I feel like he just seems kind of manipulative. It's like I just think he's manipulating her, and then he's very what do you call it? He's just like he just wants to go and get it. Impulsive, super impulsive, and so I know his mom was saying that he was super impulsive too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, oh, you know, I want to lock it down and stuff. I want to show Vanessa, that everything's different. He's like, I'm not the same person. I'm different. And then they have sex.
But you're not showing that you're different. You're just saying that you're different.
They have sex, and then he's like, oh, you want to go for a round two? And she's like, she is visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
She's like, you can tell she's like, dude, I just want to. And she looks like she just wants to enjoy the moment. She just wants to enjoy being with him. And it really is sad, because you can imagine being in a situation where like this person is your best friend.
Yeah.
And you know, now you have a relationship with them, and you know, you do the intimate part, and then they just want to keep doing that, and you're like, dude, I just want to be around you.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of,
it just seems like your relationship is a struggle.
Yeah, that's the perfect word for it.
It's a struggle. So yeah. I mean, whatever happens with them will happen, and they've got major boundaries to figure out.
They're gonna have to do therapy or something.
Therapy for everyone on this show. Really, what we're saying is, for everybody on the show, slow down. We're all going to. We want to get to the finish line so quick, which is what, like marriage. I don't know what it is, but slow down.
That's the thing. Like they want to get to the finish line so bad, but it's...
And that's the premise of the show, right? 90-day fiance. Not 90-month, 90-day.
Yeah, well, it's...
understandable, but we're skipping some really...
So it reminds me of kind of like back in the day with Barry Bonds, right? Yeah. And like the home run competitions and all that, and everybody wanted to like be the slugger, and it's like everybody wanted to get to that number, like to beat Hank Aaron or to have the most home runs in a season and stuff. And so now when you think of Barry Bonds, what? You think of steroids, stuff like that. So yes, he did get to that point, but at what cost? Now it's a failure. So for them, yeah, you might be married, or you might be able to get married to your next person, but at what cost? It's going to be a failure at the end of the day. That's why so many of them have had failed marriages.
And you miss so many of the details when you rush, believe it or not.
Yeah.
You miss so many of the details. Slow down, y'all. And the only other couple I think we saw was Molly and Kelly. I love these two.
And they weren't in that episode, though.
They were. Oh, well. I like.
I mean, we can talk about it.
We got everybody on the show, but
it wasn't Kelly's baby, so.
I don't know what's going on. She is what, like 45 or something? She's like, I've got 2 kids already. I can't have any more. And he's like 41, and he's like, I want to have kids with you.
Yeah. Somebody
should figure that out. That's a hard conversation. It really sucks to see. It really sucks to see that in front of your eyes that this person wants this, and it's a big life decision like getting married, and this person doesn't want that thing. How do you... Where's the compromise in that? Like, we can understand if you want 4 kids and he only wants 2, maybe the compromise is 3. I don't know, right? You both want kids, but one wants kids and one does not, and so like, what do you do with that? But we really like them. We need them to slow down too. So.
They probably have the best chance out of anybody in the show. I'd say that they're about the most normal.
I wouldn't say normal or abnormal. They're probably the most mature. And not just in age.
They're the most realistic. I'll say that. Most common, I would say.
Yes.
For sure. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that was episode. Let's see, that was 22.
Episode
22? 21.
How many have you,
Wait,
yeah, 21. Watching?
Well, so it goes kind of like.
Oh.
So
the
for
episode.
Yeah, it's kind of deceptive. Yeah, it's kind of deceptive. So like that's episode 21. But if you guys were to check it, like it's not like 21 different episodes really. Like they have like the shit talking ones that like the exes talk about them and stuff. So 22 is just like the crap talking one on 21.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is Chasing a Ghost, 90 Day the Single Life. That's our review / synopsis, summary, everything.
We don't mean to poke fun at people. Well, poking fun is fine. We're not trashing. Oh, I did.
You farted.
It smells like old milk.
All right.
Sorry. Okay. So we really don't intend to trash anybody. Just from us watching this show, there are some things that we feel. Oh, those are all.
So what we're trying to say is we're not trying to trash people. We're just giving our opinion. This is YouTube. We're here for opinions, not facts.
Not bad.
If you're here for facts, this is the wrong place. No, you can actually get a lot of facts from YouTube, but
no, this is our rendition of a review sort of thing from 90 Day Fiancé, The Single Life.
Yeah.
From a couples therapist mind and a layperson's mind.
I took a class in psychology in college, and I will tell you that I got a 73% out of 250. No, I got an A in the class.
Yeah.
And I got an F in anatomy.
All right.
Don't have me do the anatomy part. That's why I asked about the clavicle part.
Hey man, I got a D in astronomy.
You got a D in astronomy?
D's get degrees, and I was on scholarship, man.
It's just stars.
Yeah, that's what you think.
Yeah, no. I say that because when I failed anatomy, my mom was like, "How do you fail anatomy? It's just bones." And I'm like, yo, obviously you didn't take anatomy. Anywho, hopefully my mom doesn't say you said that, and I remember that.
Coming up.
I've said that story so many times.
Coming up next in our Casey life.
I don't know what that was, like a 1950s like boxing.
Well, these mates are just for a track. I mean,
wait.
These claws are
meaty claws.
Well, these claws aren't just for a track. Shout out to SpongeBob
and
the makers
Mr.
of
Krabs.
SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs, yeah, and Squidward and Patrick.
Yeah, but we're
gonna talk about some other stuff. Let's review a restaurant maybe outside on the patio.
That patio.
Definitely not.
Oh, I was like, our patio.
Our deck porch thing is like this, and it's not supposed to be.
It's
not our fault.
We'll do another video of the townhouse.
Our homeowners association is garbage.
It's pretty trash. We got some stories on that one too. Some colorful stories. Anyway, we'll do some videos on more with like 90 Day Fiancé. Maybe some home stuff.
Ooh, for sure. Home stuff.
Financial stuff.
Psychology.
I know finance is big right now.
Yeah.
So, and when I started going to school too, probably talk a little bit about that.
Public.
So,
my hair's so itchy.
And you're right.
It's a dirty hair.
And our hedgehog.
Oh, Sonic the
Hedgehog. So yeah, thanks if you've gotten this far. You have a lot of patience. But this is our first review.
Subscribe,
comment, tell your mama, daddy, sister, maybe even your uncle. Anywho, we're out.